What's up? And welcome to Catching Up, where we catch up with some of your favorite Mets. I'm your host, Mike Chinella, and today we've got Mets catcher, keeping the theme going, Tomás Nido. Tomás, what's going on?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
It's a pleasure, and thanks for being here because I know we're all excited for this season coming up. And I've been peeping your Instagram. You're putting in that work in the cage. You're getting ready for the year. So for taking some time for us today with your routine and your schedule, we really appreciate it. So thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm going to talk about this season in a little bit and what you've been working on and what you got on the menu for this year for us as fans. But your offseason's been pretty big. You're a new dad now for the first time, right? Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a daughter born in November 30th. So we're very excited. Been busy. It's been quite the off season. Want to remember.
Man, that's great. Well, congratulations. What's harder, changing a diaper or, I don't know, hitting a Max Scherzer fastball?
I'm going to say that early on is definitely the diaper. Getting used to that. But no, absolutely the fastball.
Man, that's great. Well, again, congratulations. I'm sure that's going to give you a whole new perspective on life coming into the season. That's just great news. So we're happy to hear it. Let's talk about this upcoming season. It's right around the corner. You're already in Florida in the offseason, so you're ready you got spring training vibes going. How excited are you for the season coming up?
I'm very excited. Pumped up. The group of guys we got, top to bottom, all great guys. So we're a big family, and the new guys we've added, I can't wait to get out there with them and compete. We have a special team going this season, and I'm excited. I think everybody is very excited.
I'm excited for you because, small sample size last year for you individually, but all your numbers at the plate were up. All your slash lines were up. You had that monster game against Washington, the 2 bombs and the 6 ribbies, and it looked like – because you hired a personal hitting coach before last year, right?
I did. I hired Lorenzo Garmendia, grad in baseball. And, it's something to build up from. Very excited, very disappointed that it ended the way it did due to the COVID situation. But, it was it was a small sample to build off. And I'm very excited. We got back to working as soon as the season was over. I got down to Florida. We got back to working right away. It took about 2-3 weeks off. And we just went in there and cleaned up everything that was still, not where it needed to be. Obviously, a very small sample, but everything was where we wanted it to go to. So now we build from that, and I'm very excited to this year be able to have a longer sample size and a bigger sample size overall. So put a lot of work really hard, and these guys coming in, James, I'm very excited to work with him. He's an incredible guy. I've heard, and from what I've talked to him already, and from his resume, before coming here, he's an unbelievable player. So I'm looking forward to being with him.
I saw you guys interacting on social media a bit, but you've been able to talk to James since he signed up.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit over text message. Kind of getting on the same page and figuring out, when we're going to get together down here in Florida. So, he's awesome. So I'm looking forward to get after it with him.
What are some things, like you having been here, what are some things that you think you can do to help him? What are some things that you think he can do to help you? Because it's going to be an awesome dynamic. Like, where do you see that collaboration coming from this year?
No, I told him, these are our staff and everybody very easygoing. It's a big family. So I know for him, it's going to be easy to adapt. And, he's got a lot of experience and a lot of games under his belt. So I'm excited to learn from him. I know he's going to be able to improve my game, and, whatever I can do to help him and bring him up to speed with our staff, I will gladly do that. At the end of the day, we all have the same goal, and it's to win. So whatever it takes, we got to put the work in towards that goal.
What is some of that work for you? We mentioned a couple of minutes ago, right? You've been working hard dating back to last season, cleaning up some stuff, changing your mechanics maybe at the plate or maybe your approach. I don't know. You tell me. But what is the kind of stuff? Just give us an example, because those of us just watching as fans, we don't always see the nuances of the game, right? So what's something you've been working on, or maybe that you want to pick James's brain about, or something you've learned from just behind the plate last season? What's some stuff this season specifically that you have been really trying to get better at?
Hitting wise, just little things where my hands are placed or where felt like, I was missing certain pitches that I usually don't or shouldn't. Just those little things. You go into the lab. I call it the lab. This is where and I go there and put in the work. But, you want to obviously go prepared and have nothing to worry about when you go out there. So just whether it's your hands, your lower body and whatnot. So, it's been a lot of work to clean up. And, for me, I just want to go out there and be able to have fun and perform whenever my name's in the lineup. I want to produce for the team. And, I just want to have that taken care of and not have to worry about that going into the season. And with James, I know that, he was in a situation before where he wasn't a starter. And then he got himself to the position where he's in today. And I'm sure that's something that I can pick his brain up on. And, I'm sure there's a lot I can learn from him throughout the season and things that maybe I haven't experienced yet that he's going to have an answer for me, or at least guidance on what to do or how to handle certain situations.
He's not the only one, too, that's going to be a new name from somebody maybe that you didn't have last year. Because, what an offseason it's been for the team. How do you follow this stuff, I guess is my first question. Are you like us, just refreshing Twitter or checking out MLB Network? Or how do you find out about all the moves, the trades, the free agents in the offseason?
Pretty much the same. All of us always talk about, who we wish we had and whatnot. And then you see some things happen and you're like, oh, my goodness, how is this even possible? The Frankie trade, you just see those things. So it's like you imagine those trades happening, and then you're like, no way we can do that. And then it happens. And, you're very excited to play along with Lindor. We go way back, but very excited to be on the same team again.
Man, Tomás, you took the words right out of my mouth, because as soon as you mentioned, Francisco, that was the big splash trade of the offseason. And you guys do go back. For those that maybe don't know, what is that relationship between you and Francisco Lindor?
Yeah, we back in Puerto Rico, we played in the same travel ball team. We're a big family. Back then our team had been together for a while, so we traveled around the world playing travel ball on the weekends and tournaments and all that stuff. So we go way back. Our families know each other very well. And yeah, it was a lot of fun up until we both came to the States for school. We kind of went our different ways, and now we link up again. There's history there. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of memories that, we talked about and we're excited to share again.
All right, so give us your inside scoop, your inside scouting report, because we all see Francisco Lindor. We know what he can do on the field. We see the personality in public, but tell us, what kind of player are the Mets getting on the field, but also like what kind of guy is this city, is this fan base getting off the field? Because you know better than anybody.
Oh, man, this guy's the perfect fit in New York. The guy you see right now is the same guy he was back in the day when we were 12 years old. He handled himself like a leader, like a captain, day in, day out. The guy grinds, works hard, and nothing can bring him down. He's always smiling, and his attitude, brings up the energy around the room. So I think it's going to be great for us as a team. We have a few guys that are leaders in our clubhouse, a lot of captains, you could say. But, it's not just one guy. Like I said, everybody pulling towards the same direction is going to make this a lot easier going forward. It's a long year, and the up and downs that we all go through, having all these guys who are there for each other, it's going to be special.
Do you have a good Francisco Lindor story from growing up? Maybe something that nobody knows that well yet?
There's a few, but there's some good ones, but I'd rather not bring them out publicly. But there's some good ones. The guy is incredible. You guys are going to learn a lot from him. You're going to see day in, day out. You guys don't miss stuff, so you guys are going to have plenty.
All right, man. Fair enough. Can you believe now? This offseason, it probably feels like you just started like a new chapter in your Mets career, but can you believe this is going to be 9 seasons in the organization for you? Almost.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. How has the time been for you this whole time?
It's been awesome. I love this organization, top to bottom. Everybody's been great. Throughout the years, you see different people come in and out. And the ones who've been there with you, it's special. You don't really see that a lot of guys being somewhere this long. So it's special to me. And I take pride in that. I've been able to stay here and through the up and downs, and the downs being able to grind and be able to prove that I belong. And that's, ultimately what I want to do. They believed in me, and I know that I can be the player they want me to be. And that's what we work hard towards. you put in the work, and at the end of the day, the results you sometimes can't control, but you can always control how you work hard afterwards to try to prove, your value and your worth to this team. And at the end of the day, we have a special group of guys that, there's some that we go way back, and the guys who are coming in, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Who are some of the guys you go way back with? Who would you say after all this time? Because that's the tough part about baseball. Even this offseason, you see all these trades for minor leaguers that it's hard to be in the same organization for this amount of time like you have. Who are you tightest with after all these years? Who do you have those closest bonds with?
Guillorme has been there since day one. I have really good relations with him. Conforto, he signed the year he signed. We played together in Brooklyn, and we were together for a while before he skyrocketed to the big leagues. Let's see who else. I mean, Rosario just got traded, but there's a lot of guys. Nimmo, we never really played in the same team, but we were going up in the organization around the same time. Let me see who else. McNeil, Petey, when he was coming up, we played together a few times. There's a lot of guys we've been through it together and grinded out those minor league seasons. So we got Corey Oswald. There's a few guys. Those are off the top of my head that I can think of. But it's pretty impressive how many homegrown talent there is that's stuck together this long.
What does that do for the clubhouse? You've mentioned a lot of different leaders, a lot of captain types, but once the doors were closed, you guys, especially those of you that have been together coming up through the system for so long, what's the vibe like on this team? How would you describe the clubhouse when it's just you guys?
Yeah, it's like a brotherhood. Very, very tight. The line of communication is always open, whether, no matter what you're trying to talk about, you feel very comfortable with those guys. And not only that, you got, Rojas as well has been with the Mets for a long time. So it's not, there's a lot of us who've gone through his coaching and have that family-based relationship with him. So it's very easy to communicate. And I think at the end of the day, that makes a huge difference.
That's something you've been well documented for too, is that communication, that relationships, those that you've built with the pitching staff in particular, but it sounds like you're tight with everybody on the squad. What is it that you do personally to build those kind of relationships, especially with the staff, with the arms, because you're working with them the most? What are some things you do to make sure that is the bond that you guys have in the clubhouse?
We just try to keep it loose, at the end of the day, we all know that there's going to be up and downs, and there's going to be those days that are grind, and we just have to work through them. So we all try to just keep it light in the sense of, not be too hard on ourselves, but we all, motivate each other. Dom has a way to bring up the energy in the clubhouse, and he's one of those who also came to the minor leagues with all of us, or homegrown that I forgot to mention. But yeah, there's always every day different guy can be there for each other. There's always, there's different guys who step up every day and can play that part.
It's funny. Anytime I ask somebody on the team, it's always, Dom Smith is the funny guy. Dom Smith is the glue guy. He's the one keeping everybody loose. What do you guys do when you're down, or what does Dom do, or anybody else? Is it a music thing? Is it talking about stuff besides baseball? We've heard about the cookie club, obviously. Is it pranks? What is it that you guys do to keep yourselves feeling that way?
I think it's just that, Dom's always positive. No matter what, he always tries to see the bright side on everything. And, when he first came up, he I don't, get the up and down. And I think he's been through a lot of situations where it kind of humbles you and, things that we don't expect. So I think, he sees the perspective that maybe other people don't see, or he tries to put himself in your shoes. And I'm sure we all do in one way or another. But, maybe it's just the way he communicates, and he has a way to really, get to you and understand you. So, Dom he's a great guy, man, great teammate, and everybody loves that man. All
right, let's shift to sort of your work responsibilities now coming up this season, because this pitching staff, it's got the makings of a great one. I mean, already last year, some great arms that are returning. And when you start with Jacob deGrom, that's always a good place to start with any rotation, right? But now Marcus Stroman is coming back. We got Trevor May. Carlos Carrasco came over in that trade with Cleveland as well. What are you most looking forward to this season, working with all these arms? And Noah coming back once he's back from rehab. What are you personally looking forward to most?
Yeah, well, getting back to playing, we've been out of it for a while and just the uncertainty at times. But, it's a special group of guys, special group of arms, from the 5 starters and the extra guys that we have that could step up and play those roles. And our bullpen, I mean, I think the potential is there. When we put it together, are, very hard to beat. So top to bottom, obviously Jake is unbelievable. And when we, getting Stroh back and when Noah gets back, I think those are just a lot of weapons day in, day out. It's going to be hard to beat those guys. And, Trevor May and Cookie Carrasco, all those guys, it's a lot of veteran guys, a lot of experience and wisdom that we're going to be, taking in that, I'm excited to pick their brain and see how they go about the business and the way they think when they approach hitters. And like I said, with McCann, I'm excited to see how he goes about his business and his thought process prior to the game and when he's preparing. I think we're both going to feed off each other's energy and we're going to have something really good going forward.
So what's your process? Are you more, hey, I noticed this or I'm thinking this, I'm going to bring that to my pitchers, or do they see stuff and come to you? Is it a little bit of both? What's that process like for you when you're working with each individual guy?
A little bit of both. The line of communication is always open. I don't think there's ever a situation where it's someone pounding information on the other person. I think, we share the opinion and we go from there. Hef does a really good job of listening to both sides and we put together a game plan and, we come prepared to a meeting and we go from there. That's, as long as you're prepared, the rest of it is go out and perform.
And when it comes to performance, one of the things your pitchers love about you is the pitch framing. You want to hear a cool stat about yourself? Tell me if you knew this. So 2019, your last full season, for all qualified catchers, you were top 10 in the majors for called strikes above average. So more than what was expected based on your pitch framing. Did you know that or no?
No, I didn't know that actually. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right?
I'm not going to say, obviously you work towards getting there, but I don't even know how to search those stats. So I don't know. It's cool to know. But yeah, obviously that's what we work for. And you always want to try to be at the top of the list.
Hey, you do the playing and guys like me will do the stats searching and we'll let you know. What is it though? Because I mean, the pitch framing, it's become such an important part of the game, especially the last couple of years, I think. And I mean, it's such a minuscule amount of space you're working with. What are some things that you do to make yourself better at that than some other guys?
The hard part is having guys like Jake, Noah, and Stroh, and all those guys who, it's not easy to practice to adapt to that because there's not many people that can do that. So you have to get creative and visualize yourself, or a lot of visualizing where, pitch or how the ball's going to move and all that stuff. You can practice so much, but once you go out there, you have to perform. You have to, get creative. So it goes to spring training when we get, reps, and we just have to try to, get going and get in sync with the framing part of it. It's a very interesting technique, I guess you could say, but, it looks really good when you do it in sync and nice and easy and make it look really good. And it makes the pitchers feel good and all around it flows very well.
It's an art form, man. And you're good with the brush. So whatever you're doing, keep it going. And hopefully that's the case for this season too. So you're working hard at the dish. You're working hard behind the plate. You're talking to the new guys already, talking to the guys coming back. All of it's gearing up to this season where so many Mets fans are super excited to see what happens with this team in this new era. If you got one message for Mets fans for the season coming up, what would you tell them?
There's a lot to be excited about. It's a long year or a long season. It's going to be a lot of games. So it's going to be the up and downs. But at the end of the day, everybody here is going to come out and give it their all. There's the same goal that the fans, want. We have that same goal. Whether it's going good or not, the mentality never changes. It's just have to, change direction and adapt. And, you never panic. You just have to manage the situation and, start pushing the right direction, and things will fall into place. I think we have the right guys to do it this year. And no doubt in my mind, and I can speak for everybody in that clubhouse, we all want to win, and we have the desire to win.
And we're looking forward to it and putting that desire out on the field. I want to go to a little more fun diving into the clubhouse now, because we know this season coming up. We'll see what happens when opening day gets here. But, I mean, you're a catcher, so you deal with all the arms on the team. But B, you're also, an offensive player, and you've been in this organization for a while, like we talked about before, a lot of bonds with the guys. So I'm gonna ask you to pick a Met. This is gonna be a game, right? I'm gonna give you a scenario, and you tell me which of your teammates you would pick for this situation. Sound good?
All right.
First one, you got to pick a restaurant to go out to dinner tonight. Which of your teammates, which Met are you trusting to make the choice for the best place to go eat?
I would say Pete or McNeil.
All right. How come?
Just Pete likes to eat, and he knows where to go.
I mean, 53 homers your rookie season. I guess you're going to have some protein on you, and you're going to know where to get that, right?
Absolutely.
All right, next one. If you need a good TV or movie recommendation, you're just at home, you want to watch something tonight, who are you texting to give you a good rec?
I don't know, maybe Stroh. He's always on top of all that. He's got plenty of shows to watch. So I think I asked him once last year during the quarantine, so I'll go with him.
All right. Did he give you anything good?
I don't remember at the time, but I'm sure he gave me a bunch of options. I don't remember exactly which one I ended up picking, but I mean, watched so many with sitting at home. So,
dude, if you're anything like me, I think I've done all of Netflix. Like I finished it, so I can relate to that. Sure.
Yeah.
What about if you're in a jam, say your car breaks down on the highway and you got to call one of your teammates to come help you out? Who's the first guy you're calling to come get you out of trouble?
Guillorme.
Nice. He seems like
he's like a Swiss Army knife.
So on the field and off the field too.
Absolutely. This man can do it all. If you're ever stranded anywhere, you need help, you call that man. He will figure it out.
I love it. Luis Guillorme. So talented. Yeah, on the diamond and all.
You can do it all.
You're a big MMA guy, right?
I like MMA, yeah.
All right. So which Met, and you can include yourself here too if you want, who would do best in the octagon?
I don't know. I mean, I would say Pete, it's a heavyweight. He likes to run into people, so he'd probably be one that would like to get in the action. Yeah, not me. I'm not getting in there, getting my butt kicked. So I would say Pete. I mean, the polar bear you saw when Reddick ran into him.
Yeah.
I think he broke his clavicle or something. So, yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah, and that wasn't even on purpose. So imagine, polar bear. I can see the trunks now, the design, and then just ground and pound in the heavyweight division.
Yeah,
maybe he's got a career after baseball.
Yeah.
Last one, we started at the beginning. We talked about how you're a new dad, brand new baby girl, beautiful baby girl. Which teammate would you trust the most to babysit your firstborn child?
Brandon Nimmo.
Wow, you were so fast. You didn't even hesitate.
Yeah, I think he'd be a good one.
What about Brandon? That would make him such a good fit for that job.
He's responsible. He's a sweet guy. I feel like he'd take good care. I would have to say with him, I trust him. I trust him for sure.
Man, that's great. I mean, that's huge praise, Brandon. If you're watching this or if you're hearing this, that's pretty good praise to get from one of your teammates. So that's great stuff. Yeah. Tomas, thank you so much, man. Continued best of luck in this offseason, and we're really looking forward to seeing what you and the boys can do coming up this summer.
All right. Thanks for having me.
All right. And to all you guys who checked in and hung out with us, thanks so much for catching up.